What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, October 15th. We are live at 5 here in Times Square. You can't tell, but we're in the middle of Times Square here at Broadway.com. Hey, it's opening night of the Rose Tattoo.
It is. Marissa
Happy opening
Tomei,
night, Marissa Tomei.
back on Broadway.
Fantastic production. I really loved it last week. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And we're joined by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
I like that color on you.
Oh, thank
you got your hair cut.
She did.
Thank you.
I'm not good at
Wow, you
noticing haircuts,
noticed.
but you really played it up on social media, so I saw it over the weekend.
Thank you. Well, that's a big deal
Hey,
for me.
Ryan.
Yes, sir.
So The Great Society is on Broadway.
It
Fantastic new play about the life of LBJ. Of course, continuation sort of all the way. And Grantham Coleman is here.
Yes.
He plays a very pivotal character. We're going to talk all about it, but first, today's top 5.
Today we found out who's going to be playing Heidi Schreck and the tour of What the Constitution Means to Me.
Yes, so this was something that, if you've seen What the Constitution Means to Me on Broadway, it is Heidi Schreck's semi-autobiographical tale of what she did to help put herself through college, going to constitutional debates. It is going on tour, and we were told that Heidi Schreck wouldn't be taking it all across the country herself, and people were like, how is this going to work? Well, it's going to work because Maria Dizia is going to be playing this version of Heidi Schreck in What the Constitution Means to Me. She'll be starring in the first 2 stops of this tour, and they are Los Angeles at the Mark Taper Forum. That'll be January 12th through February 16th. And then it'll head to Chicago, the Broadway Playhouse, from March 12th to April 4th. That's all Maria is confirmed for now.
She's a Tony nominee.
She's
fancy.
a Tony nominee for In the Next Room.
The Vibrator
play. That's right.
Subtitle. You left the subtitle off.
I
Caitlin.
included it in mine. She was also on Netflix's Orange is the New Black. Joining her at these 2 engagements, by the way, are Mike Iveson and Rosalie Ciprian, who are reprising their performances from the Broadway production as well, which is really exciting.
Do you think they're going to call her Heidi off stage?
Right?
Is she going to be very
know.
mad?
There's so much that I don't know
Is she
how
in
it's
character all the
meant.
time?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
any
really-
great solo play where you're telling your own story, you really know it's a
Absolutely.
success if other people start playing you.
Yeah, certainly. Additional cities, new casting for the remainder of the tour, all of that stuff will be announced later on this year. But if you didn't have a chance to see this play on Broadway, it's absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really excited to see Maria.
It'd be great if a lot of great actresses got to play Heidi Schreck. Like I said this morning, Judith, I want to see Judith Light as Heidi Schreck.
Oh my goodness.
I'm here for
I just want
that.
to see Judith Light as anything.
Yeah, truly.
Here for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes, and we found out that this Tony winner is joining this highly anticipated upcoming West End production.
This is really good casting.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we
Really
knew they were
good.
making a Back to the Future musical. It's actually been in the works for many years. They're doing it in London, in the Manchester Opera House, which is where Ghost the musical started.
That's
Fun fact. In February of 2020, and then hopefully it's going to the West End. That's the plan. We just found out Roger Bart, who is an amazing Tony winner, of course, and he just did Hercules. And, you know, I'm sure he has a whole bunch of new 12-year-old fans now. He will play Dr. Emmett Brown. That's the Christopher Lloyd part,
It
correct?
is, yes.
Crazy Dr.
Yeah.
Emmett Brown. And we already announced the rest of the cast, which includes Ollie Dobson as Marty McFly. This is just great casting. And it's directed by John Rando, and I'm totally into it. I endorse this casting. Thumbs up.
Yes. And Grease is very much the word.
Yes.
It's always the word.
It's always the word.
And Grease 2's the word, too.
Yes,
know.
notorious Grease 2 fan.
Grease
over here.
2 fan.
So HBO Max, you may have heard of this. This is the thing that we all kind
don't know
of
about
know a
this.
little bit about, but we can't. So HBO Max is HBO's new streaming service.
But that's confusing. Is Cinemax? Because HBO owns Cinemax.
They do, and then
Are
there's
they just
HBO
becoming one thing
Go
now?
and
What's that?
HBO Now, and I don't know how
Okay.
any of this works. But there will be a new show on HBO Max called Grease, Rydell High. It has a straight-to-series order happening, and it reimagines the original movie and will feature well-known characters. It's still set in the 1950s. It will feature big musical numbers from the era combined with other original songs, and it will explore the peer pressures of high school, the horrors of puberty, and life in middle America with a modern sensibility.
So not the songs from Grease, it doesn't sound like.
No, it does. It says
it
will
says
feature well-known
classics
characters
from-
combined with original songs, well-known songs. I mean, maybe. Who knows? This still
Maybe
yeah.
reproduction from Grease 2 will
Yeah,
make its way in
exactly.
there.
So
The horrors of puberty.
the horrors of puberty. This is being produced by Paramount Television. They, of course, brought us Grease Live, which was phenomenal, if you remember.
Aaron Tveit was in that, everybody.
Who? Also, this comes after the announcement that Paramount Pictures is making a Grease prequel called Summer Loving. So No new information.
It's
about
all
that
happening
yet.
for Sandy and
Grease
Danny.
is the title right now. Additional details and premiere date, casting, all of that will be announced at a later date. But very excited.
Yes. And you guys have even more time to catch our dear dead drug lord.
I mean, that's basically the whole story. It's been extended a week.
Yeah, you're going.
So
Sorry.
now it's
Yeah.
going through. It's a big hit off Broadway at the McGinn Cazale. It is second stage WP Theater co-production. Whitney White directs it, and it's been extended. It was supposed to go through October 27th. They didn't want to miss Halloween, so now it will run through November 3rd. So you can combine it with your Halloween plans. It is about teenage girls gathering an abandoned treehouse to summon the ghost of Pablo Escobar, as you do, especially on Halloween.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
actually sounds like a fun Halloween
Yeah,
night.
that so actually lines up really nicely.
Maybe people will go dressed as Pablo Escobar. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Well,
It's now a thing.
now a
do people
thing.
watch Narcos?
Get in costume
Yeah.
and go see the play.
Yes, and it's been a good day for Off Broadway because another play that hasn't even started has been extended.
That's right. There's another one extending. Horton Foot's The Young Man from Atlanta. So this
Not
is
about a dead drug
Not
lord.
about a dead drug lord, as far as I know. No, this is about an aging couple that is reeling from the death of their only child. 1950s Houston, Texas. It of course stars two-time Tony nominee Christine Nielsen and two-time Emmy nominee Aidan Quinn. It is directed by Michael Wilson. It is playing at the Irene Diamond stage at the Signature Center. So initially you had until December 8th to see this, but now you have until December 15th, an extra week. It begins previews very soon on November 5th, and it will officially open on November 24th.
A lot of off-Broadway success.
Yes, absolutely. There's lots of successful things on the website right now
Like
as
what?
well. Courtney Carter, who is playing T. Moon in Once on This Island.
You almost said
tour.
Once Upon This
I
Island.
did. Once Upon
okay.
This Island. Once on This Island tour. She sings "Waiting for Life," and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
She
she's
sounds
fantastic.
incredible.
We also have episode 2 of Andrew Barth Feldman's vlog over at Dear Evan Hansen, Behind the Stripes.
That's right. There were a lot of first looks today. So Little Shop, if you haven't seen Little Shop on Broadway, there are photos of that. Also, we got photos of the Donna Summer musical tour. We got photos of the Escaped Margaritaville tour. And we got to see Caroline Bowman and Caroline Innerbichler as Elsa and Anna in the Frozen tour costume.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's right.
very cool
That's
stuff.
going to Schenectady soon.
It is.
My favorite
Schenectady.
name for a town to launch tours in. Okay, thank you so much, Ryan.
My pleasure.
Have a
yes.
good evening.
Thank you
Are you
so
seeing
much.
anything?
too. I am not seeing it. No, there's a debate on television tonight.
Oh.
Yes.
Of course.
I've gotta
That's
go
the
watch
show
the
he's
debates.
seeing.
Of course.
That's right.
Always woke.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Caitlin, tell us everyone about today's guest.
Gladly, yes, we got Mr. Grantham Coleman here with us in the studio today, y'all. He is currently making his Broadway debut in The Great Society as Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. himself. You guys might have seen him when he was in the Public Theater's Much Ado About Nothing, and he was also in Sweat. Some of his screen credits include NCIS, one of my personal faves, Doubt, The Americans, and more. Follow him on social media at Grantham Coleman, and please leave all of your questions in the comments below. Everyone, please welcome Grantham and Paul.
Thank you, Caitlin. How you doing?
I'm good. That was amazing.
There you go.
Was
She's got the dish.
it? Got it
I
down.
try.
Yeah.
So, first of all, your first name, Grantham. What is that? What? Tell me, is there a history to that name in your family? Or?
Yeah, I'm named after my dad. I'm the second. He's Grantham Harlan Coleman.
Okay.
I'm Grantham Harlan Coleman the second.
Okay.
I asked my grandfather where he got the idea from. Still waiting on an answer. But it's a lot of places. There are a lot of places named Grantham.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see it like when you're driving on the roads, you'll see your
Mainly
names.
in England, and then
Okay.
I think there's a Grantham somewhere upstate, and then when Downton Abbey came out, people were like, "Oh, now I get where it's from." It's like, no, I don't think it is.
That's not actually what this is.
But he was a real person, so maybe I don't know.
Sure. Sure. So you're on Broadway.
Yes, I am.
You've been building this. You've been building up to this moment. It feels like you're a Juilliard graduate. I don't know if you knew that. Very fancy. That's a very. If you want to be an actor, try to go there.
Or several other places.
I mean, but that's a good place. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good. You know, I see it in the Playbill bios a lot. People from Juilliard make it to Broadway.
yeah, I'm just waiting for the time where I stop putting my group number in.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. What is your group number?
41.
Okay, so Patty LuPone was group 1.
Yeah.
Correct. That's sort of the base. I always remember off of that. So 41. So was it a fun group?
Yeah, we were a tight group. We were one of the only groups that no one joined our class and no one left our class. We stayed all together, the 18 of us.
A good pack.
Yeah.
But is the number important? Do you wear like shirts with the number on it while you're in?
No, the number is just so like because you have students who might have gone to school before, who might be older than you. So your group number is like your class number. It's like class of 76,
Got
but
it.
like we're group 41.
Got
and
it.
they're on like group 52 or something now.
Got it. Okay, cool. So you're on Broadway in The Great Society. Fantastic play. Really loved it. It is for the playwright sort of a continuation, right? So he
Yes.
had a big success with All the Way, obviously. All the way
Not
to
a sequel,
LBJ.
continuation.
It's not a sequel. Thank you. It's a continuation because if it was a sequel, what would I don't know what the difference would be. Like you would have I'm thinking Grease 2. But that's
Just imagine I give a really pithy answer that explains what the difference is. But I would think the difference is because it kind of picks up where it left off.
sure.
Yeah. You know, he
It's
gets
acts
elected.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Of All the Way, maybe. Yeah, but the Great Society is the name of actually a plan. So I learned a lot about LBJ in preparation for seeing it and seeing it because I didn't want to sit there and just feel totally out of the loop. Are you a history buff? Did you know
I
lot
am a
about
bit of a
this?
history buff. So when I got the script, I was like, I want to know more about this and about who this happened to and and then I got in a wormhole where I just kind of kept going back and looking at, oh, wow, that's happening today. Oh, wow, that's happening today.
Yeah.
And growing up, I always looked up to Martin Luther King. So I knew a lot of his history, but I didn't know about him and LBJ
Yeah.
and all the friendship that they had and tried to establish and then how it crumbled.
Yeah. So Martin Luther King Jr. is obviously an icon, and to get to play him. So did you sort of get lost in the wormhole of research, or was you just on Wikipedia, or did you dig deep?
No,
I just go Wikipedia level. But did you actually go? Did you? And also, I think All the Way in that regard is an important. That was a big part of their relationship was in All the Way.
That's when
So
they
I-
kind of.
Yeah. So I guess maybe knowing that play might be sort of important to entering the Great Society as well.
I think what the Great Society shows is how hard it is to actually pursue the principles that you champion yourself. And they were so much on the same page for most of the policies that when it came time to actually bring them about, King's own camp turned on him in terms of him coming out to talk about the Vietnam War, whereas LBJ didn't want to continue doing the Vietnam War, but he had to, and they both lost their way. But I bought one of the last books Martin Luther King wrote, and he wrote it in Jamaica in '67, and he died in '68.
Wow.
And it's called Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? And it really gave me an insight to where his mind was in the last year of his life. He didn't know it was the last year, but he was very aware that things were happening and he wasn't going to be around forever. So I think the more and more I read and the more and more I worked on the play and worked with Brian and everyone, we just kind of, you start thinking your thoughts and you realize that your thoughts are actually well in line with the person that you're playing, which is a real blessing. Because sometimes you play people that are like, oh, I could never be this serial killer person.
Right.
But, yeah, I kind of got lucky with Martin Luther King.
But you also, there's an extra weight of, I'm sure for you feel just sort of the responsibility. And even when you walk on stage and people realize you're Martin Luther King Jr., people in the audience, it just, it ignites something in people, right? And they almost listen even harder to what you're saying. They want to have...
Yeah, no, I was like, all right, cool. What do I do? I mean, you can't just go and impersonate somebody. You're going to have to get your mind behind them, your heart behind them, and give it up to your scene partner and hope that all right, if my scene partner believes me, maybe these people out here will believe me too.
Yep.
But it's been a really great response, especially from the Black community who's come to see the play, and it's definitely been humbling. But my grandmother came and she was like, I thought you did a really good job. And I was like, that's all I need.
The reviews are in. Grandma liked it. That's amazing. I love it. What's it like performing? I love the Vivian Beaumont Theater. It's such a beautiful space.
Yeah.
And it's so big, but
it's so big, but it's so intimate.
I know. I was just about to say that you took the words right out of my mouth because it really is, and it's also an interesting set because you guys are sort of on stage. Brian Cox, I don't know if we should have mentioned that, plays LBJ. Do you like the guy?
I love the guy.
Yeah, you love him.
He's always the bad guy in so many things, and then I met him. I was like, he's the nicest person I have ever worked with. He's a genuine sweetheart of a man. But if that changes his casting, he's also very, very mean. He's sadistic. He's great.
Yeah, watching the show, I didn't know that he was so nice. I mean, LBJ. Obviously, you love the guy, but there's a lot of intensity.
Well, LBJ was a bully.
Yeah,
because he had this big presence, and he pushed people around, sit them down in chairs, and Brian definitely brings that. But no, Brian is a really lovely man.
Yeah. Well, also, what's it like doing something about politics at a time right now where everyone is? I mean, even in the lobby, don't they have the thing where you can you vote?
Yeah, you vote.
You vote in the lobby. I don't think it actually chooses the president. I don't know what's happening in the lobby.
I'm
Is
not
that the
gonna-
official ballot
Yeah, we send those right off.
on that iPad?
Oh god, this is gonna be on all those news shows. No, I think especially with the weight of every day, a new headline breaks, I think what I've learned is just that all the things that we fought for to get to the place that we are in are now taken for granted in a sense,
Yeah.
and that the fight that these people started for us. We haven't necessarily dropped the ball, but we just assumed that they were ours to have, where they can be repealed by an executive order the next day. So I think with the political presence outside the theater and inside the theater, everyone walks away with a little different piece of like, oh, I didn't know that, and also, oh, how do we stop that from happening again, and or oh, how do we keep this?
Right. Suddenly, it's not just a history lesson. Suddenly, it's a learning lesson for everybody. Like you're actually applying it to the world, and which is not something everyone thought would be happening with a play about something that happened so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to ask you about Danielle Brooks because I adore her.
Who?
You were in Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah.
And it actually turned into Much Ado About a Lot because everybody was really excited about it. That was at the Delacorte, right?
Yeah.
And she was your love interest.
Yeah. Still is.
Still is. That's what I wanted to hear. How was that experience?
It was great. I do have to say that I did not know for the entire time until like our last show that she was pregnant. And I would be like, oh, why are you doing that? What's going on? She's like, oh, no, I'm fine. Like nothing. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, you feeling okay? Yeah, you feeling okay? All right. Literally no idea. And then like halfway during the last show, I go into her dressing room. I'm like, I can't believe it. It's not so much. She's like, okay, well, I can tell you now. And I was like, what? Well, you have some big secret? And she's like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And I was like, what? Well, I know that's like your character secret or whatever. But she was like, no, you idiot. Like, no. Me, I am the person. I was like, oh my God. Oh, and then, everything makes so much more sense now. Yeah, no, Danielle's the best. We were at school together. I'm so happy for her. Next month.
Amazing. Amazing. Would you like to do more things with her in the future?
Yes, I would love to.
I want to see that. I think we should book some. Do you have anything in mind you want to do with her?
Everything and anything. But yeah, no, she's just such a lovely person, and it was great when she came out of school because she was the year ahead of me to like watch her blossom and like to get to work with her. And my first job was Shakespeare in the Park.
Right.
Back in the day, I was ensemble understudy. And to be able to go back there and do Much Ado with her was just, it was incredible.
What are the dressing room like at the Delacorte? Do you get a better one when you're playing one of the leads versus the ensemble? Or is
Actually,
everybody-
no, not really.
Is it like a dugout at a baseball field?
When we moved into the Delacorte, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Who are these other names on this door? And of course, they were like my friends in the show, but I was like, I made a big joke, and they were like, you're not joking, are you? I was like, no, I'm joking. I'm glad you guys are in my dressing room. And it turned out I was like, actually, I was in theirs. But no, it's cool.
That's cool. I'm sure you know a lot of people. I saw didn't you post something about Will Hockman, who
Yeah.
I'm seeing tonight, and I'm seeing he's in the sound inside.
Yeah, we did Sweat together at the table.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
And we
that's
played
right.
basketball together a lot.
Okay.
And I just talked to him because I was like, hey, I'm going to Broadway.com. Like, do you have any
I was
tips?
there.
Like, I saw those photos you posted. Like, what do I do? And
You're doing great.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, well, I'm just getting ready for opening. I was like, is that today? Oh, congratulations. Like, no, it's not today. I was like, oh, I didn't miss it.
Happy opening.
So do you like being a part of this theater world? And
Yeah, I mean, am I?
yeah, you are.
Oh, yeah.
You made it.
Cool.
You
Oh,
made
yeah.
it. You're on
Yeah.
Broadway.
Yeah, no, it's great because like you see friends because I don't know, I'm just a kid from Houston, and I went to performing arts high school, so I have a lot of friends who are still around doing things, but like literally every other day I'm looking through Playbill or something, I'm like, oh, that kid's in New York. Oh, they're on Broadway. Oh, okay, cool. All right, I hope people do that about me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Caitlin, what are the people online asking?
Yes. So I love this question. Elise wants to know, what would you say to Martin Luther King Jr. if you could, if anything?
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And he was really aware that the challenge that he was facing was not going to be achieved in his lifetime or our lifetimes or our kids' lifetimes. It's an overall human effort. And it's not so much a utopia, but the idea of equality. And the more and more we fight for it and pursue it and come up against the ugly parts of humanity and are able to understand them, accept them, I think that's what he wants for us. So I would just say thank you.
What very well said. I agree.
Thank you.
Yes. So Alexandra says hello from London.
Hi.
She's like, as you have done TV roles as well, how do you approach acting for television versus acting for stage?
I would like to say there's not a difference, but there
talk
is
louder
a
on
difference.
stage.
There is a difference because
Yeah.
there's a little bit of like energy between you and the people in the
Sure.
audience, and you can kind of feel it, and it changes every day. And sometimes you're like, oh, they are not liking this, and sometimes you're like, oh, they're loving this.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess for camera, it's more of a focused energy, I would say. Like people always say it's about your eyes, or listening with your eyes, which is weird. I don't know.
Listening with, I'm gonna try listening with my eyes. I've never tried that.
You're doing it right
It's like a smile.
What's your favorite thing you've done on camera?
now.
Decisions.
I did this episode of NCIS LA with LL Cool J. He was
Oh.
amazing. He's really cool.
Ladies love
But
Cool James.
everyone is.
Isn't that what it stands for?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Oh, wait,
Sorry.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
name's-
You thought I made that
I
up
really
on the
thought,
spot?
I thought
It's
you
like
made that up on the
James
spot.
Todd Smith. Is that-
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
But his song "I Need Love" was
Need
really big
Love.
in my puberty years.
he's great.
So you
great.
got to work with him.
Got to work with him, and we're out in like the boonies of LA, and it's a very cold, windy night, and it's like an action sequence, and everyone assumes since I was from Texas that I I know how to like shoot a gun. So like the stunt guy was like, so here you go, just make sure you do this, and it's like a machine gun, and I've never fired that.
No,
but
I-
everybody walked away, and I was like, excuse me, and I was like, what? I was like, I don't know what to do. And so he calls the guy back over, and the guy's like, oh, you need to practice? And I was like, yeah, I like to practice. And I thought, like, it's hushed, like, only the three of us know about it, this and that. And then all of a sudden, he gets on, like, he's like, all right, everybody, quiet, please. Everybody, nobody move. Grantham needs to practice. Grantham needs to practice shooting the gun. Grantham has never shot this gun. He needs to practice. Everybody watch, make sure, okay? And I was like, okay, ready. Yeah, but that was, it was scary. It hurt. I didn't know that it hurts. It hurts.
To shoot a gun.
Yes, it does. It's not
Physically
fun.
hurts.
Yeah, well, it was like a big boxy, the shells come out. The camera guy's like, yeah, everything you're doing is great, just don't point at the camera. And I was like, okay, and there's cameras everywhere. So it was like trying to go, avoiding all the camera guys. But that was a fun thing.
Amazing.
Cool, I'm gonna look for that. We have one last question.
Yeah, sure. Let's do one last question. Okay, and Olivia wants to know what moment do you look forward to every night doing the show?
The speeches sometimes, like because they're his words. Like Robert Schenken did this amazing job of like bringing scenes of MLK and LBJ's life that we don't see. They weren't public. They were private moments. But then he also has the task of having these authentic speeches, and I just feel like sometimes a little like a channel beam of like when I hear myself, I'm like, oh, that sounds like him. Oh, but it's his words and his heart behind it, and it's so those are the moments, Olivia.
Cool. I think everyone should go to the Vivian Beaumont. The Great Society is playing through November 30th. You can also vote for president in the lobby while you're there on an iPad. Grantham, we're not sure what it means, but I'm glad to meet you. Grantham Coleman, thank you for coming by.
Big things.
Go see
Huge
the show,
things.
everyone. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcast by searching for #live@5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Daphne Rubin Vega all about the upcoming new season of the podcast, The Horror of Dolores Roach.